Sure. Who am I looking at? Which one of you am I? That's what I thought. All right. Do I say my name is?
Hi, my name is Denise D. Smith.
Sabrina Barnes.
Lakeisha Irwin.
My name is Brooke Flood.
My name's Tori Boyd.
Juliette Mignoni.
I'm Audrey.
My name is Suzanne Seldis.
My name is Dory Stone.
My name is Shayla Edwards.
Thank you. Oh, it's a whole story.
Oh man, it's a sad story, guys. Am I gonna cry?
Do you want me to start with story 1? No. Okay.
All right, we're gonna read the whole thing, right? Yep. Okay. Anytime or just go?
All right. My mom always wore this heart-shaped locket around her neck. It was gold and held a picture of her parents, my Nana and Pop, when they were first married.
I remember thinking how small the rust-colored photo was and how it fit so perfectly.
I remember running the chain through my fingers as a child, or getting a heart-shaped imprint on my face when I cried in her arms. And one day, it was gone.
I don't remember when or why, or even how old I was. Just that it was there one day and gone the next.
I had always assumed it was placed in a jewelry box for safekeeping. What I do remember is getting an American Girl doll for Christmas.
I remember begging and pleading with my mom and dad to let me get one.
All my friends had one. Some even had the custom doll that looked like them. But all I wanted was Samantha in her Victorian dress.
And everywhere I went, she came with me. I was so excited that I finally had a doll of my own.
My mom seemed to have aged overnight, so we decided it was best if she moved in with me.
I took her time for granted, assuming she'd always be there. She was always a fighter, always young and healthy. Hold on, y'all.
We brought one dusty cardboard box after another into the house.
And together we unpacked as she recounted the stories of family and friends.
There was one about my Nana and how she ended up in America.
After weeks at sea, she finally ended up in New York City, where she caught the train to her new home.
I can't even imagine that all of her belongings fit into one small suitcase.
Or leaving my country at such a young age in hopes of living the American dream.
I reached over and grabbed one of the final boxes labeled Alice in black Sharpie.
And in that box was my Samantha doll, just as beautiful as she was the day she was gifted to me.
Along with a small jewelry box with a tiny ballerina that played the song Memory, one of my all-time favorite songs.
I opened the box, and before I could get lost in the melody, I realized her locket wasn't there.
I took a deep breath, but before I could even ask, I already knew the answer.
Both of my parents worked low-paying jobs to make ends meet.
Late at night, I would see my father at his desk worrying about where they'd get the money to cover the basic bills.
I knew we weren't rich, but they were good at hiding just how poor we really were. I never saw the sacrifices they made for me.
To protect me from growing up too fast.
So I could focus on school and make something of myself one day. I never saw their struggle to keep the lights on or food in the fridge.
My mother sold the heart-shaped gold locket to buy me my Samantha doll. But now all I wish I had was her necklace, her health, and my father for just 1 second longer. They sacrificed so much for me that I don't even have an excuse. I did everything right, and I'm still broke and recently divorced. I make too much money to get help, but I don't make enough to help myself.
When you have to work 3 jobs just to make ends meet, there is something so wrong about that. But at my age, my parents had a house and a baby on the way.
Though we struggle, I feel like I'm still years behind them. My Nana and Pop believed in the American dream. They endured leaving their country and going off to war for their children and their children's children. And here I am, 100 years later with nothing to show for it. Nothing to be proud of and nothing to call my own. Thank you. I'm very aware of the Alice report and what it means to communities of disadvantage. I just wish that Alice was really not the American dream. It's the exact opposite of the American dream. And coming from poverty and knowing and understanding now what I didn't know then, this is it.
It hits home. When I think about the work that's done here at United Way, we talk about our Alice families, those folks who are just income constrained. They're between here and there and caught in a cycle, and this just brings all of that home.
There's a part in there where she says, her parents never wanted them to see her struggle. And that's what we always wanted for our girls. And they never heard for anything. We tried and to make sure that they had everything that they needed. So that means a lot.
I honestly believe that this story is more common than people realize. All of our parents were dreamers, and I think that's just the goal of most parents, to hope that their children end up better than they did. And these days it's just such a struggle. 1 step up, 3 steps back. And it's a little heartbreaking to see that.
The unfortunate thing is, I know, right, this person, not this person, but I know people in this very situation. And it's unfortunate, right, that we live in a place, we live in a country that's so rich with opportunities, but the ones who need the most help make too much, work just a little bit too much, or just fall right in the middle, right? They don't make enough to live very comfortably, but they're not the lowest low, so they don't make enough. They make too much to get any support. So I recognize this in my clients and sometimes in my team members, unfortunately.
Definitely a lot of people that I know and a lot of family you see go through a lot of things like that. Personally, worked 3 jobs to try and make ends meet, so you definitely know the struggle and you feel that in the story.
At one time, I almost got teary-eyed because it made me think about my mom and my dad. My dad died young, so, and then my mom passed. So I really got teary-eyed, but it really hit home. At one time, I had to kind of like, oops, okay, can't show the tears, but it hit home a lot, yeah.
I think these are the conversations and these are the stories that we need to hear. And the more we can hear these stories, hopefully the more we can connect and give, because we see ourselves in these stories. I think that when we don't see ourselves in these stories, it's harder to want to give.
I think if we can, we should. I always have believed that if you can help, you should help. And it's not a matter of do you, it's a matter of yes, you do.
When you donate
to
To United Way of Indian River County,
you are truly making a difference.
You are truly making a difference.
you are truly making a difference.
just give to United Way.
What you just heard is a letter from Alice. But Alice's story does not end there. You know Alice. Alice are the people that keep our quality of life moving here in Indian River County. They're the service workers, they're the front office staff, childcare workers, the cashier at Publix. Alice is essential, yet struggling to survive. Alice is the acronym that we use here at United Way to represent the hardworking people in our community. Alice is asset limited, income constrained, employed. These are hardworking people, struggling to decide which bills get paid and prioritizing their finances every single month, hoping that someone in the household doesn't get sick and that they don't get a flat tire on the way to work. One little bump in the road will derail their entire life. They may miss a couple hours of shift, they may be a short paycheck that week, and then they can't pay rent or they can't pay their doctor's bill. Alice's story is our story. We all know someone that is living paycheck to paycheck. I can tell you that about 60% of our neighbors right here in Indian River County are Alice. Our United Way is committed to supporting the Alice population right here in our community. To support our neighbors means that we're supporting our own quality of life. Alice works hard every day for the morning shift, the afternoon shift, the night shift to make sure that we have our needs met. Other funding streams often overlook the ALICE population because they are, in fact, already working. So United Way really tries to target any investments we make in programming to support the ALICE families. They are often stringing together multiple minimum wage jobs, so that keeps them from the ability to access any sort of public assistance, and that is why United Way really tries to target programs that support ALICE and keeps ALICE working and often keeps ALICE moving towards their own individual financial stability. Alice's story is very familiar in our work, but it's important to remember we're all part of the same story, all on different pages and chapters. We may not have the power to choose the setting or the plot, but we can choose the kind of character we want to play. When you support United Way, you help ensure that these stories have a happy ending. You are the missing character from this story. Join us. When Alice succeeds, we all succeed.
A lot of stuttering. Da da da. I know you guys will just cut it all out, so. All right. Anyway, that's it. That's it. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful weekend.
You as well. Enjoy it right now.
I am, actually. Done and done. Have a good one.
Bye.
See ya.